Just when you thought the PlayStation fandom just couldn't take any more L's, well, now they're being attacked again. It seems hacking Sony is becoming a ritual thing. It's becoming so common now that they may as well just open the floodgates and just let everyone in. It seems now Insomniac Games has been hacked and, well, via malware, and has a bunch of information from personal details to Wolverine the game, information leaked to the public. Well, so they say. Now they are actually offering this as a paid incentive to one person to do whatever they want with, and there is a lot of information here, including the voice actor of Peter Parker, Yuri. So this is actually quite serious, but it's not the first time Sony has been hacked, and it seems to be a common trend. Their security seems to be made out of gingerbread. Anyone that feels hungry just takes a couple of chomps and can just walk straight in. It's becoming a bit of a nightmare. But do you know what isn't becoming a nightmare? You hitting that like button so we can hit that 350 like challenge. Let's see if we can do it. Don't forget to subscribe if you have yet to do so. We are trying to hit that 6,000 subs before we move on to our next goal for our yearly goal. And of course, if you want to support the channel further, you can do that through my Patreon, YouTube membership, or Super Thanks, which is directly below the video. Right, so as we are seeing here, Hazard Gaming, Dragon of Dojima, Wolverine screenshots have been leaked. That's a major bummer for Studio Insomniac. Now, the problem I have with this is that the images that's leaked is basically... I'm not going to show it because of legal reasons, and I don't want to get into trouble. Essentially, it is God of War. He looks the same. He walks the same. Well, at least it looks like that. And it's, you know, the character is on the left side of the screen, kind of walking big Hulk monkey. Big Hulk and bulky, and it's weird, right? I mean, I was expecting a game similar to Spider-Man in that vein, but this is going to be a proper cinematic story-driven game, not like the likes of Spider-Man, but more akin to The Last of Us, God of War, Uncharted. Well, not even Uncharted. Uncharted is actually more akin to Spider-Man. So more akin to those games where it's much more slow-paced, it seems. I can't see how the combat's going to be any more fluid than Spider-Man is. I think it's going to be a little more restrained, like the God of War one is, with the way it's done. I can see the boss battles being more cinematic based than actual fighting, but like I said, we've only seen one screenshot or two, and obviously this is not good for Sony. Not good at all. Not good at all. Insomniac hasn't said anything, but as you can see here, screenshots look like a mix of God of War meets Wolverine. Of course, too early to say what the end product will look like, but based on where the character's position is and how he looks and, you know, the stature of the character, it just gives that God of War vibes. Now, that might be good for some, great, but I'm guessing people weren't looking for that slow, kind of monotonous walking simulator that we have come to enjoy. Don't get me wrong, I still think the God of War games are good. I enjoyed 2018 more than Ragnarok, but I like the way the story is delivered. And I'm a big story buff, so the more of that, the better. That's why I buy a PlayStation, and that's why I enjoy those games. But I just don't think that Wolverine is the type of game that they should have gone down that road with. Now, of course, we have this here from Rhino. Huge. Insomniac Games is reportedly facing an alleged ransomware attack for their upcoming Wolverine game. The Residia Group appears to have hacked and acquired sensitive personal data for current and ex-employees, including voice actor Yuri Lowenthal, who is basically Peter Parker in the game. 7 days were given to make an undisclosed payment before the data is made public. The group is also auctioning the data for $2 million. Open your wallets and be ready to buy exclusive data. We sell only to one hand, no reselling. You will be the only owner. Insomniac Games is yet to make a statement. Do you expect we'll see Wolverine assets appearing online in a week, or perhaps Insomniac Games revealing the game to get ahead of the leaks? At this point, I think Insomniac Games, as of tomorrow, should just do a massive reveal for Wolverine of what they've got. Do like a dev blog and just show stuff and just get in front of it, right? Don't do this. Don't give in to this sort of act, because this essentially is terrorism, right? It's cyber terrorism. But it's crazy how this keeps on happening to Sony. At some point, you have to take a step back and wonder, just why is this constantly happening to Sony? What is wrong with their security? They pay a lot of money to safeguard their stuff, and clearly it's just made out of, as I said at the start of the video, gingerbread, where someone can just walk up, chomp a couple of pieces off and make their way in. It's pretty horrible at the moment, but Insomniac Games is not saying anything as of yet, probably because of their legal team, and they're waiting for Sony to come out with an official statement. But again, here you've got Insomniac Studios was hacked, and the hackers gave the studio 7 days to give them 2 million or 50 bitcoins. Otherwise, information about the Wolverine game will be published, and employee data will be published. Now, that's the big thing here, right? It's not so much the game. The game, who cares, right? If it's out there, it's out there. Obviously, it's not what they want, but they're not going to pay 2 million to stop you from releasing pictures of the game. It's the employee data that's the problem here. People's personal informations are now being jeopardized again and again and again. Like, how long are these people going to be working for Sony when their information just is... I mean, at this point, they may as well just take the firewall down and just tell people you can take what you want, because their protection is awful. Awful. And, you know, it's bad. It's really bad. This is utterly disgusting. I hope they'll find a solution. They need to find a solution. Hackers probably found nothing of value. I mean, 2 million is still a lot of money. Bots big mad. And you know, this sort of thing isn't helping the situation. This situation here by this imbecile is exactly the problem, right? Instead of the community banding together to try and, you know, push back on this sort of thing, he's trying to make a cheap console war joke. Now, some people may take this video as a console war. It's not. But Sony is in dire pain right now. They've been hacked more times in the last 3 years than I care to count. And you don't hear any other company getting hacked. It's bad. It's really bad. And, you know, people whose personal data is going to be leaked, financial data could be leaked. This is awful. But then you've got imbeciles like this one over here. And I'm going to call this imbecile out because he is an imbecile. This is really awful. You can see here from Games Radar as well, we've got our first article already. IGN hasn't covered this, by the way. We are unaware if IGN will ever cover this, but they haven't covered it, which is no surprise to anyone. But they did cover today how to cancel your Game Pass core subscription. Clearly, that is much more important than this, right? Marvel Spider-Man 2 developer reportedly targeted by hackers threatening to leak Marvel's Wolverine details. And the group also claims to have personal employee data. To me, that's the most important thing. I really don't care what data they've got on Wolverine. Marvel Spider-Man 2 developer Insomniac has reportedly been targeted by a hacker group that is threatening to leak details about Marvel's Wolverine. As reported by Cyber Daily, the studio is said to be currently dealing with a ransomware attack from the hacking group Residia. Clearly someone got an email that they thought was real, clicked on it. I mean, literally there is tons and tons of training for this sort of thing. If you think something is phishing, never click on it, man. It's 101. I just don't get how people keep falling for this. The group is claiming to have details about Insomniac's upcoming game. This is the private one that they've got, the undisclosed one. Marvel's Wolverine, as well as personal data, documents, internal emails, passports, etc. From former and current employees at the studio, including Peter Parker voice actor Yuri Lowenthal. According to the outlet, the group has said that it has obtained screenshots and character art from the upcoming game, some of which reveal other Marvel characters that could appear in Marvel's Wolverine. Residia has reportedly already got an auction for the data set up with a starting price of 50 Bitcoin, around 2 million. And that's just a starting. It has told Insomniac it has 7 days to respond. The developer has kept tight-lipped on all things Marvel's Wolverine, releasing only a teaser trailer back in 2021. Since then, it's been revealed that Marvel's Wolverine will take place in the same universe as Spider-Man games and could launch as early as fall 2024, which we now know is 2025, although this is yet to be confirmed by any sources. Alongside Wolverine, the studio is said to be working on an additional unannounced game. Now, this is the other one. This is potentially going to hurt the share value of the company if this is revealed too early. There's no word on whether it'll be another superhero game, but we wouldn't be surprised if we did eventually get a Marvel Spider-Man 3 or another spin-off like Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, perhaps with Venom this time. But this is awful, right? There's no two ways about this. This is awful and it shouldn't be happening. And Sony really needs to sort themselves out. At this point, the amount of times they're getting hacked, people's personal data is being released, and they're essentially doing almost nothing about it as the information is getting, or maybe they are paying for it. But can you imagine how easy their security system must be to break? I don't know. This is awful. This is bad. And, you know, will we see now in the next few days Insomniac Games come out and reveal details about Spider-Man, reveal details about the unannounced game? I think they should. I think they should get ahead of that, and maybe that will devalue the stuff that the hackers have got, and maybe that will reduce it a little bit to something a bit more stomachable, and then they can pay them what they want to secure the personal information of their employees, because having that leaked all over the internet or just given to anyone else, we don't actually know what's in there. It could be names, addresses, bank details, everything, right? This is bad, and it's awful that it's happening. But why does it always happen to Sony is the question. Once is, whatever. Twice, you're starting to form a pattern. But 3 times, you really need to, 3 or 4 times now, you really need to take a step back and look at your security system and figure out what the hell is going on and how are these breaches being allowed. It's not right. But man, it's almost like they're inviting people in at this point just to take the information and walk away and cause the company corporate damage. It blows my mind, man. But anyway, that's the video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit that like button, 350 like challenge. Hit that subscribe. Don't forget you can support me further through the YouTube membership, Patreon, and of course the super thanks underneath the video. Of course, simply hitting that like and subscribe is a free and easy way to support the channel. Right? I'll see you next time. Remain legend.